Let's go through the remaining configuration tasks that are required to get a user set up for dial-in conferencing. So right now I'm signed into Windows as a regular user called Susan Justice. So I'm going to go over to the dial-in conferencing page. So dialin.interfaceTTlabs.com. So what I'm going to do here is just sign in with my existing Windows credentials. So click sign in. Notice you can sign in with a different account if you don't want to use your Windows credentials, but I'm just going to hit sign in here and try to authenticate that way. So notice that it does have a URL for me down here. So this is Susan Justice's specific meeting URL. So every time she schedules a meeting, it'll always be accessible via this URL, and the conference ID to access her meetings will always be this. Notice though that a phone number has not been configured for this user. So what we really want to do in order to give her full fidelity for dial-in conferencing, we want to give her access to do this through the PSTN so she can call in from an outside line, authenticate to the audio conferencing service, and either attend or lead meetings from that public network. So what I'm going to do is I have another browser instance here that's running the control panel. So I started this in private and I'm logged in as administrator here. So even though I'm logged into Windows as hers, I've got this administrator control panel going. So let's go over to users and we'll search for Susan. Okay, there she is. Notice that her telephony mode is PC to PC only. So we want to set her up for enterprise voice. So let's do that first. We'll scroll down here and we'll set enterprise voice. We're going to set her line URI. So tel colon plus 1602 301 1009. Now again here, we covered this earlier, but we want to make sure we set an extension here as well. So we'll do semicolon ext equals, and I'm going to use the last 4 digits in her DID, so 1009. This is actually required in order to hit that dial-in conferencing page and be able to reset your PIN number and authenticate to the audio conferencing service from the outside as well. All right, so we'll scroll down here a little bit. We're going to inherit the global conferencing policy, which allows some basic conferencing settings. And we'll just go ahead and hit commit there. All right, and notice I'm getting a failed to return unique result. I think I've actually used that DID already for somebody else. So my mistake, let me go back and correct that. Let's change this to 1008. There we go. So let's go ahead and close that other browser instance and we'll revisit the dial-in conferencing page. So it's going to be dialin.interfaceTTlabs.com. Sign back in. So here we go. We're signing into Susan Justice. She's got enterprise voice enabled for her account, and now it's prompting us for a PIN. So go ahead and set your PIN. Now we didn't do this for her as an administrator, so she would be doing this as a first time type of setup. So let's go ahead and close out of this real quick. So it's pretty straightforward here. What she would do is just like she would for a password. She set that in password once here and reconfirm it and hit OK, and she'd be good to go. If we're setting her up as an administrator, what we can do is while we're in here, go to action and then set her PIN. And we can automatically generate it and have this thing fire up an email to her, or we can just manually do this. So I'm going to say 9876 and say OK. And restart the browser. Go back to dialin.interfaceTTlabs.com. Sign in to Susan. And there we go. So it tells us, here's the phone number that's assigned to you, your extension. Your administrator should already have given you a PIN number, and if you need to reset it, you can do that here. So again, that PIN number will be used when she dials in from the PSTN, so from the outside, she dials into the audio conferencing service to join or lead a conference.